Islam, Shalom, peace. Welcome to Nwar Astrology. Today is Friday, November the 18th of 2022. Today we do have some interesting aspects for sure. We have Mercury, which late last night, or rather early in the morning, around 3 something, Mercury has moved from Scorpio, deep, introspective, intense, mystical Scorpio, and it's moving into Sagittarius, which is the sign of higher learning, religion, philosophy, adventures. It's a jovial sign. It's ruled by Jupiter, so it's a benefic. And so that's a lot of good, positive energy hitting you. So Mercury in Sagittarius is a good aspect for the most part. It does have its challenges, but we're going to get into that. So, yalla, ready to make them. Let's go. So Mercury in Sagittarius is interesting because it enables you the opportunities as well as the mentality, the mental kind of energy to really focus and, well, maybe not focus for everybody, but to really get in and discover and dig deep into higher aspects of knowledge. Your communication will be really bold at this time as well. The interesting thing about Mercury in Sagittarius is that Mercury is more of this kind of inquisitive mind that it's willing to debate and dissect, whereas the energy of Sagittarius, you would think of like a religious leader or someone who is devout in their beliefs, and it stands as the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So if you can contend between those two energies within yourself and within what you see around yourself, you're definitely going to do well this transit for sure. The sun is having some interesting angles today. It's coming off this conjunction for Mercury. So obviously the sun and Mercury are always pretty close to each other. Mercury in the ancient sort of Greco-Roman aspects of astrology, the way that they looked at it in their mythology, Mercury was the messenger of the gods. He could get closest to the gods, to Zeus, which is representative of the sun. But Mercury was also a little bit of a trickster, a little bit of a rebel. So that's an interesting thing to keep in mind. It's like these rebellious aspects that lead to new truths. But the sun right now, it has some good aspects that would help you kind of dig deeper into these truths. The sun is having a sextile to Pluto, which is definitely about digging deeper, shining a light. It's kind of the energy of an X-ray, perhaps like looking within a microscope, illuminating what is hidden, what is unseen, what is microscopic, or what is unearthed, what is in the earth. So unearthing what is in the earth. Like this Mercury in Sagittarius is giving me the vibes of like Indiana Jones or something, like a person who's well studied, right? He's a PhD, he's a philosopher, he's a archaeologist. I don't know if he has another doctorate or whatever the character is, but he's also an adventurer. He's also, he's kind of like fighting crime in a way as he's making these historical discoveries or getting these relics at the same time. And it also has this sun aspecting Pluto sextile energy, because that is the energy of uncovering, looking deep, looking within the earth, looking deep within yourself to kind of see what's not really sitting right with you and see if you can change that. The sun is also making a trine to Jupiter, which is again more beautiful, benefic luck. Mercury is also making a trine to Jupiter, and so Jupiter is its temple is in Sagittarius. That's the house that Jupiter is exalted at. So that is good energy, but also Jupiter is making a conjunction to Neptune. So with Jupiter and Neptune having a conjunction together, you have to be careful from the magnification of illusion. You have to be careful that while you're searching within, or when you're looking whatever you're looking at, you're not being misled. And you know, the Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, we're talking about divine energies. They are in fire signs, so we're dealing with our internal magic, our internal emotion, our internal drive at this time. So don't let your old ways cast an illusion on yourself. Right now is a time for new energy. Right now is a time to be moving into a new cycle. We're getting out of a long cycle for a lot of people, a lot of energies. A lot of people have been going through really, really difficult energy the last several years, let alone the last 2 to 3 years dealing with the pandemic. So I'm sure everyone at least can relate to that, because that was a worldwide phenomenon. It was a worldwide thing that happened. Everybody was impacted. No matter where you stood on it, you were impacted a lot. And so it took a toll on people. I feel like the world probably has some PTSD from it, and we're still kind of going through it. I mean, in my mind, it's done, it's over. But, you know, I still see people out there going to re-up on their, you know, and whatnot. So it's there, it's still lingering. And so that's a good example. Like, that's a thing that people did, and they did it because it was something that they were coerced into. And it was a feeling of safety, a feeling of a surety that came maybe not to be so true. Some people knew, many people didn't. But the data has come out since then, and it's shown that it was not as effective as it was supposed to be, and the measures that were taken did more harm than good. Yet, people are still repeating those same cycles. So that's something that you might want to look at with an x-ray, like maybe look at some of those studies for an example. I'm not trying to get too deep into that, but my mind's just running with that real quick. But just anything like that going on in life, because we also have the moon in Virgo, right? Which Virgo's dealing with health and these sort of things and your emotional health. You want to really look deeper at your connections, look deeper at the influences around you, and you know what is leading you towards the light, or what is coercing you into a false sense of security that may in the long run actually end up being harmful to you. What else do we have? So yeah, these are gifts. The Sun trining with Jupiter is gifts from the universe, but the Sun trining with Neptune is also overindulgence. So don't fall into illusions. Don't fall into the need to overindulge yourself in any sort of ecstatic behaviors that you can get carried away with and pulled into those Neptunian depths of illusion. Mars is at a square to Neptune, and the moon is at a quincunx to Saturn. So while Mars has the energy of wanting to break free and let loose, it's a time to kind of have some restraint and look deeper within. The moon quincunx to Saturn, you know, Saturn being the planet of trials, you know, the taskmaster planet. Saturn is the father figure energy. It's the tough love. It's not necessarily so dark, but it provides a lot of challenges in your life. So that way you can grow and learn through them every time you defeat the obstacle that's in front of you. You gain a lesson through Saturn. So the moon at this quincunx to Saturn is having this energy of, especially combined with the Mars position, the Pluto energy, and the Sun sextile to Pluto energy, we're having an opportunity right now to really reflect deeper on past hurts, reflect deeper on past maybe transgressions, you know, things that we've also done in our life, not necessarily just things that have happened to us. It could be personal, it could be love, romantic relationship, it could be familial, it could be a friends group thing, it could just be things that you did, you know, like let yourself down. So it's a time to really think on those moments. Take a second today, if you can, to take a break from the world and whatever else is going on, and really reflect. You know, journal, meditate, whatever it is you got to do some of that stuff, and you know, don't necessarily act on it right now. That Mars energy wants to act. That Mars energy really wants to act. But you also you want to you want to wait, because now is not the moment. Now is the time to kind of let things sit and process, so that you can make your next move properly. You don't want to be pulled into acting hastily. Mars is also at a square to Jupiter. So Mars squaring Jupiter is the energy, especially also the moon is opposed to Jupiter as well. This is the energy opposed to Jupiter and Neptune. This is the energy of wanting to make big, bold, kind of grandiose entrances and big, bold, grandiose statements. And of course, the Mercury in Sagittarius, just coming off of its conjunction with the Sun, you're going to have this kind of preacher, revelatory speech. Like how preachers get in church. They're real bold with their speech and all that. But it's actually not the time to really be in that energy too much, because some conflicts can arise because of the energy that we're coming to. The moon is also at a trine to Pluto. Again, emotional depth. It's just a day to really sit and think and reflect. There is going to be, because of the Mercury and Sun energy, there is going to be a lot of rebellious kind of thought patterns. And this almost has the energy of a person that riles people up. Because right now, Sagittarius is in the 11th house, which is dealing with social aspects. This is the energy of people riling people up at a rally, and then those people start marching after the rally. And then, because of that square between Mars and Uranus and Jupiter, that march can then turn potentially into a riot because of the energy. So yes, reflect. Yes, be rebellious, or rather revolutionary in your nature, in your thought. Actually, not in your nature, in your thought. But also have the forethought and the focus to really study what you're talking about, really study deeply what it is you want to have the revolution happen in, and go forth with that. Yeah. One last thing I think about the moon. The moon is trining to Pluto, and along with its quincunx to Saturn. If you have past hurt, because I was speaking earlier about the relationships and even the ones you might have with yourself, and reflecting on what went right or wrong. If you have these thoughts that plague you, that you feel like of keeping you in this repetitive cycle, now is an opportunity with this X-ray vision, right? With this deeper vision that the Sun and Mars is providing to us, to really rethink on it and reflect rather on the happier moments of the energy. Don't reflect so much on the situation or the person itself, because the universe is what it is. Sometimes people move out your life, so they don't come back. Sometimes they do. Sometimes situations reoccur, sometimes they don't, but there's always a consistent energy within that you'll see repeated in patterns and places and things and people in your life. And don't reflect and sit so much on the negative aspects of it. That's not what Saturn is trying to teach your emotions, the moon right now. And the moon's in Virgo at this moment, which deals with receipts, it deals with tidiness, it deals with cleanliness, it deals with Virgos are on point like that. And then next is moving into Libra. So the energy now it's going to be moving into dealing with your social aspects in terms of partnerships, in terms of your connections to people, groups, but it also deals specifically, Libra is dealing with one-on-one partnerships. So this could be marriage, this could be a relationship between partners at a job. You know, don't reflect on the negative aspects of the challenges. Try to use this energy to look deeper and reflect on the positive aspects if that's something that you want to bring back into your life. Even if it's something that you don't want to bring back into your life, focus on the positive aspects of that energy. So that is what you are sending out in your mind and in your heart into the universe, so that when that situation or person or energy reappears in your life, it's the positive, beneficial aspects that you called in. You know, it's not all of the negative stuff that's happened that can plague our mind. So that's it. You know, I hope that helps today with your outlook for the day. I didn't really talk too much about Venus. Venus is also in Sagittarius. Venus deals with our values. You know, it's a source, it's a house of resources and value and abundance. I'm sorry, Venus rules Taurus as well as Libra. And so Taurus rules with those energies. So right now, think about what you value in terms of the Sagittarian energy. What new knowledge can you learn? What new adventures can you go on? Find them and do them. All right. Peace.